it's really small. I mean, yeah, it kind of works. It's cute. Let's talk about the SmallRig fluid head, the small lightweight fluid head. It is really small, as you can see here. I mean, this thing is tiny. Yeah, this is what you get in the package. It is AK Swiss, so that is good, I guess. You can rotate the head itself, so you can mount the camera vertically and horizontally or whatever. And it comes actually with a nice little plate here. And also good is that it is stopping, so your camera doesn't fall off. So that is nice. It has also 2 screws. So this is the head itself. Yes, you can rotate this thing. This is nice, interesting. There's little markings here. Even though that 0 doesn't look too straight, but that might be a perspective thing. So on this side you have a lock, so you can move it front and back depending on how heavy or long your lens is, which is nice. You have a accessory mount here, light, whatever. You have a little bubble here, and you also get, of course, with all SmallRig rigs or cases or cages or whatever, or handles, even though it's tough to get out, which could be a good thing. You have to push here. There is the Allen key if you have to tighten things up. And yeah, that's about it. You don't have any control about how much your fluid head is dampened, so to speak. So yeah, the handle is quite small, which is good, but you could extend it quite a bit. As you can see here, just rotate it and then you have several stages, so to speak. And you can, yeah, I think that's cool. Yeah, I mean, it looks tiny, but seems to be solid. So let's go out and see how it works in the field, if it's actually usable. So this is the head that I would usually have on this tripod here. This is my second camera tripod, B-cam, and this is usually the small setup here, just the A7R Mark III, and I have a Manfrotto plate with a AK Swiss adapter there. So yeah, usually my setup with this B-cam is a bit bigger. I have a wooden handle here and a hand grip over here. So this is the smallest video setup, I'd say, that I run. And so let's replace this head. This is just a simple Manfrotto head, nothing fancy. It's the cheapest, but it's solid, I think. So let's replace this head with this new SmallRig mini fluid, whatever it's called. Now in comparison, this is the Manfrotto head. It's also quite heavy for its size, and this is the SmallRig. It's really small. I mean, yeah, but I think that also could be a good thing, even though it kind of looks funny on this. Even though this is not the biggest tripod, it still looks a bit funny, I think. Yeah, it kind of works. Yeah, I checked it was not in focus using the FS7 there, the original, and the autofocus is not that good, even with the 18-105. So yeah, I mean, it looks funny. It's sweet, cute. All right, let's put on this camera I mean, yeah, I think this is the biggest rig I would put on this thing. The good thing is on, oh, you have to be careful, you kind of loosen up the tripod head there. The good thing is on this side you have a little lock. Yeah, it's all kind of, it's a bit too tight. And you can move this camera back, especially with this lens here. Yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, and even with that, it's front heavy. Yeah. Yeah, so with that kind of setup, this is already too heavy and too big. Maybe if I switch to a smaller lens. Yeah, going with the 50 here, and even that is a heavy lens. I mean, I could lose this monitor and maybe this handle. So it really is just for a bare bones kit. Maybe just a camera and a cage. No top handle, no monitor, no side handle, with smaller primes, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's better than having like a ball head. They can be tricky to get straight. So it kind of works. I think the handle is nice. And especially for APC, I think with the A6400, A6600, something like that. For smaller cameras, it makes sense to have this nice little fluid head for the money. But even with that, let me start and film something here. Okay, rolling on this camera now. So, in terms of dampening, yeah. Yeah, it's... Yeah, I wouldn't expect too much of a fluid, like a, yeah. So now I'm locked off. I mean, yes, in terms of having a ball head or this one, I think for video it's nicer because you get there quickly. With a ball head, levels are sometimes a bit tricky to get straight. So yeah, I think for that alone it is nice, but I wouldn't expect to have the smoothest panning and tilting going on with this head. To be fair, with the Manfrotto there, with the original head I had on there, it's also quite tricky, but yeah. I mean, it is a nice, small, lightweight, solid, well-made tripod head for video, but it is not the best in terms of panning and for the weight and the size of the rig. As you can see, this is something that's on the limit, I guess. But if you just have a small mirrorless camera on there, should be good. Anyways, that's it for this little, I wouldn't say review, hands-on. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or have any tips on tripod heads that I should check out. And yeah, see you in the next one and back to work. I'm just on the road for another shoot. Anyway, tschüss.